Hey everybody, TheGooden24 here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to do a quick video on the NASCAR 25 sales numbers. I'm not going to show anything on screen, but I do want to talk about it. I will give you a link down below. It's on JSki, and it says that iRacing is ecstatic with the success of NASCAR 25 after the opening month. Now, from October 14th till the end of that month, they had sold 100,000 copies, and I had saw a lot of debate whether that was good or not. I thought it was good. And now, roughly a month after launch, it's 200,000 without PC. And the PC launch was the best NASCAR launch on PC ever. Now, I understand that there's been some problems on PC, and there's mixed reviews, and I will talk about that in another video, my PC thoughts. But I've played it on PC, and I really haven't had hardly any issues, so I consider myself lucky. My wheel and stuff has worked fine, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. Today we're going to talk about the sales numbers. So 200,000 copies. I think that's really good, and apparently they do too, because Steve Myers said that they are over the moon thrilled, and they are ahead of schedule on sales, and that's good. And I'm not surprised considering the hype that came out for this game. I think a lot of people were super hyped, and I think that kind of transferred over. It was in the top 10 list of best-selling games for October, and on both consoles. And I thought that was really, really good. And so basically, in this article, they kind of go over how excited they are. They said how it took 2 years to make, and nowadays with what you're spending to make the games, it's tough. And blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, I'm glad that they're happy, because that is something I think I was concerned about, and a lot of other people were concerned about, is what do they need to make money on this? And there's still a long way to go. We still have the holiday season left, and surely this game will get a discount by then. And there are probably kids asking for this game for Christmas. So I do expect it to continue to go up in sales. I don't know about how much. I would say like 500,000 is like, I'm not saying to expect that, but I'm saying it's feasible, and at that I think is a great goal. I think 1 million copies of a game is really hard to do, and this isn't old days NASCAR. You have 200,000 people that have bought a copy of the game, and only 1.7 million people have been watching NASCAR races recently. That's pretty good. I think I saw a stat that said 1 out of every 10 people that watch have bought the game, potentially. Like, if you do those numbers, I don't know if that's exactly right, but I think that for the amount of people that are currently watching, based on metrics, that $200,000 copies is pretty solid. I'm not going to sit here and do math and say each copy has made them this much money or do the millions, but this seems pretty decent. And there's a lot of talk about people. I've seen so many people go and be like, well, this is going to be a biannual release. They have said that they are going to be doing annual release, and I don't know why they wouldn't anyway. So we won't have to deal with this game for another year. I would say, he even said in the article, iRacing is working through what the next version of the game will look like, though they should have an idea in the next month. He anticipates there will be another installment in 2026. We definitely have plans with what we want to do. It's just a matter of trying to figure out what we can get done and when. So this was a little later than we wanted to ship this. I think that goes with year one, the official launch hurdles that you're going to jump through. I think in year two, we'll have a better understanding of what we need to hit the marks and blah, blah, blah. So, I will go ahead. He says, having an early release date is a tricky topic, pointing at the EA Sports franchise of Madden. I understand people would love it if the title would come out before Daytona, but it's kind of a dead window in terms of retail sales. So, I have opinions on that. So, first off, obviously we're going to get NASCAR 26. Like, I think that was always in the cards. I don't see why they would do it any other way. It makes too much sense. But I know there are so many people out there upset that this game released so late. And if you want my opinion on that, I don't think they, like he said, that they did. This is a later than they wanted to, but since it's their first title, they spent 2 years making. It just kind of had to come out when it came out, when it was, as ready as it could be in a decent amount of time. Now, since they have the space and they are making it fixing little touches and bugs and stuff, and they shouldn't have to do as much of that in the next game with this space. I would imagine that the next game will probably be out closer to September, August, and I know at some point the Heat games came out in like July. Um, I would prefer that, but that doesn't leave them a lot of time to add new stuff. We'll just have to see what they're thinking. I would prefer a game a little bit later in the end of the season like this with more features and stuff if they can help it. Now, what they said there is they want, people want this game around Daytona and blah, blah, blah. I remember the Utechnics game, 2011 got delayed till like around, it was going to come out like the Daytona 500 weekend, and they got delayed again. And one, that would have been the previous year's schemes and stuff. Now, I do think a game coming out around Daytona would be better and smart and this, but it's almost impossible. You have all 4 series now. You have hundreds of drivers and cars. Getting sponsorship for all of those and working schemes and driver rosters is impossible because a lot of these deals come together so late. That's just how NASCAR works. If they were to release something in Daytona, it would be incomplete. It wouldn't look good. It would have to be the previous year's stuff. And I think that's just not feasible. Getting all of these schemes approved, getting the driver rosters approved, and then getting the games shipped, it would have to be updated heavily. And when the game first came out or would come out, it wouldn't work. It just wouldn't look like you would expect. Like, there are so many deals that are done last second at Daytona. So many cars that show up last second, and they can't get all that done. It's just not possible. Now, I would love to see a game come out a little bit earlier, but again, it just takes time to get this. They'd have to wait a whole nother year, and then it'd have to release in like April, I would say. I don't think anybody wants that, realistically. I think we'll probably get another game probably September-ish would be my guess, but we'll just have to wait and see. And I think this game doing so well, selling copies wise, is going to be good for business too. So we'll just have to wait and see. I myself am very pleased. This is actually performing a little bit better than I thought. I didn't expect this game to sell 1 million copies, and if you thought that was going to happen, then I don't know what to tell you. I saw a lot of people coming that 100,000, 200,000 was bad, and NASCAR is a niche sport, and it's just, it doesn't have that public appeal. I have friends that got excited for this that don't watch NASCAR, and you're going to have people like that. You're going to have a base of people that sees that, and they just want to go backwards and cause wrecks and screw around, and that's fair, but it's not a huge thing like it used to be, for sure. Like, I'm sure the EA games used to sell millions of copies just because more people watched them. You had 7-8 million people watching. I don't know if that's an accurate number, but it was in a lot more than this. So we'll have to wait and see. But I think these are good. This is a good number to start. I really do think if 500,000 copies would be exactly what they were hoping for, and like exceeding expectations. And for me, that's what it would be. If you told me this game sold 500,000 copies, I'd say that's pretty good. So we'll just have to wait and see. But that's about all I got. I'll release another video like this. I want to talk about the PC Steam game at some point. There's not too much for me to say on that, but I do need to get my thoughts out there on it. But overall, I'm still having fun with the game. Obviously, as the game's been out here for a month or so, people are starting to cool down on it and watch it less and care about it less, and that's just how it is. At some point, I'm going to get back to making content that's not NASCAR 25, so I hope you stick around for that. I hope you guys enjoy. Thanks for listening. I'll see you later.